Live Zone. How about we have a little fun? And with regard to fun, that means, oh yes, we're going to gossip. And in this case, we're talking about all the celebrity gossip. Pleased to say that we're joined by our friend, my friend, your friend, none other than the media prince. Good to see you, sir. Happy Tuesday to you.
Happy Tuesday. We are live in the zone.
And I can tell you're feeling the energy and feeling the zone already. We got a lot to get to, so let's jump right into it. Obviously, Wendy Williams in the headlines as of late, and we're discussing, in this case, that documentary, that 4-part series documentary in which we now know she was paid some $400,000. Not only that, but provided with a $75 day stipend. Her guardian, apparently the media prince, outraged that this actually aired, saying that Wendy would have not given her consent, and she is horrified. What say you, sir?
You know what? I agree with The Guardian. I do think that this documentary should not have been put out. I think it did not showcase Wendy in the best light, especially I feel like she left out with a bang. And this documentary, of course, put her back in the limelight of just us being more worried about her health versus, her legacy as the queen of media. But I did feel a little relieved to know that she did walk away with at least a nice paycheck.
Yeah, but we're saying a nice paycheck, and I know, well, I can't speak for you, but for me, yeah, $400,000, that's a lot of money. But when we're talking about Wendy Williams, quite honestly, that's just a drop in the bucket when you look at what she's been able to garner throughout her entire lifetime. I don't know, to me, it seems like it's somewhat a smack in the face that she only walked away with not even $500,000 for putting her life
Yeah.
out there like she did.
Well, she's also Wendy Williams, so she knows the name of the game. You get top dollar when you are at your most relevant. And right now, the Wendy story, though it was great for a lifetime, it wasn't something that was also captivating that the world just needed to know. So if this is something that maybe her and her team did want to put into fruition, they probably were okay with the pay because they did sign on a dotted line.
Yeah, once again, it's just so heartbreaking to see. I have always been a
Yeah.
fan of Wendy Williams, of course, starting in radio, and to see her rise and her thrive, and then to now see her honestly at her lowest point. It's something that just makes you, I don't know, makes you feel sad.
I know, right? We love you, Wendy. Uh,
Well, I can tell you someone else we love as well, and that's none other than Jennifer Hudson. Her show airs right here on Fox 5. I've had the opportunity, quite honestly, one time to hang out with her. It was at her birthday party. A friend of mine knew her that I got a chance to go, and really cool people. Well, now she's in a relationship with none other than Common. And word is that Common wants to move things a little bit forward, but Jennifer Hudson's like, hold up, pump the brakes, wait a minute. What have you heard about this?
I'm gonna just be honest with you. Jennifer Hudson is probably in the best place ever in her life. And I think she is just enjoying having fun with Common and just being able to just get up and do spontaneous things. I think the space that she's in now and then her career is flourishing and it's going in a whole new direction. I think that's mainly her focus. Of course, I think Common is ready to, walk down the aisle, and she like, hold up, brother. She's like, wait a minute now. I think she's just in for just the enjoyment and the present. I think he's more so in it for the long haul. So I think this is going to be a conversation that these two are eventually going to have to sit down and really have because right now, it is the best time for Jennifer Hudson. So Common, you might have to get back on the dating pool in another year or so.
Yeah. Quick story. Two things I'm going to say about that. Quick story. I've had the opportunity to have dinner with Common before, and a friend of mine bragged that I knew all about wine. Common is a big wine drinker. I remember we sat down, and I was so nervous because I'm like, oh my gosh, that's Common sitting right next to me. And he asked me, he said, hey, what's your favorite wine? And I said Maybach instead of Malbec. I just completely messed it up. I'll never forget the way he looked at me like, dude, you have no idea what you're talking about. And I somewhat screwed it up. But he was fun to begin with. Hey, another thing about that is that if you look at his history with regard to who he's dated, let me go down the line. Kim Jones,
Uh-oh.
Erica Badu, Taraji P. Henson, Serena Williams, Angela Rye, Tiffany Haddish. I can go on and on. So I can somewhat see Jennifer Hudson's hesitation with wanting to move forward with Common. Just being fair.
Right, because she could have just came straight in and think knowing that she just was going to be number 7 versus, he's thinking of her being forever. So,
Yeah, I guess only time will tell. That's all we can say. We
yes.
wish them happiness. Speaking of wishing folks happiness, that's what I'm doing with regard to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Word is that they tried to do a little sneak away. How do you do that when you're two of the most popular people on the planet?
Hello? That's like telling Beyonce not to tell us that she has an album coming out. Like, you're going to know where Taylor Swift and Travis are at these points. They're at the pinnacle point of relevancy and focal point right now. So people are watching their every move. There are people probably right now just underneath their bed and they don't even know it.
I hope not. Now that's a story. Should
but
that happen, I want to know about that.
but we gotta give it up. They're like one of the top couples right now that's in all the news realms. So I hope they don't think that at this point in their career, privacy is going to be a real thing. They're going to have to basically go to space or something. That way they don't ever get a picture taken about them because they're going to find exactly where they are.
Yeah. Well, I guess the next question is, if you're a gambling man, do you think that somebody actually is hiding under that bed? Meeting a prince? Do you think that's going to happen? And I
well,
bring that up. Go ahead.
well, this, unfortunately, it was a scary story, but there was a crazed fan that actually came to her
Hmm.
apartment like twice. Thank goodness she was on tour, but he went to jail, got out of jail, and went right back to her apartment. So, they would love to be under their bed right now. These crazy people would love to be under their side.
I just want to hear the story. I don't want to be there for that. Hey, last story we're going to touch on. It all surrounds Bruno Mars. The other day, a report came out that he was in debt some, not 10, not 20, not 30. I can keep on counting. We're talking about $50 million with regard to the
Ooh.
MGM because, well, that's how much he has been betting and that's how much he owes them. Of course, Bruno Mars is earning about $90 million a year. We have since heard another report that said, you know what, it's all fake. That's not true. He's good to go. He doesn't owe us anything. What say you?
What say me is I am confused. What is going on? Is it true? Is it not true? Is this just, because you get what I'm saying? 50 million is just not such a random number to just throw out there that somebody owes you that. So I'm wondering, did he really owe that? And he struck a deal and they needed to revamp that story so that it could get taken back out the news. I'm just wondering what are the investigators of our good old social media because the FBI agents on social media are so much better than the real FBI agents. I'm waiting for you guys to let us know more about this because I know you guys know and can find that answer out if Bruno Mars
Yeah.
really is in debt.
I think that it's the number aspect of it all. I mean, the numbers are so
Right.
big. I mean, to earn $90 million a year, it's something that I can't fathom. I think, though, if you really break it down, and let's say you're earning, $10,000 a year, well, in this case, he only owes $5,000. I mean, it's still a big number to look at, but I could kind of see how this could happen. The question is, does he have a gambling problem? And we should hope not.
Right. Fingers crossed he does not. And if this happens to be completely false, I hope that he does get down to the bottom of who leaked this story in the first place because it put him in a bad light. He was a talk of the town. It really, really brought him down a level. So fingers crossed
Yeah.
he don't owe that 50
Well, once again, I'm the
million.
gambling man, and I bet we're going to see him back on top in the near future. Meeting a Prince, always good to see you, sir. Thank you so much for chiming in.
Thank you for having me. It's always live in the zone.
Speaking of being in the zone, I can tell you someone who's probably not